Well, how are we doing, beautiful, gorgeous people out there of the interwebs? How are we all? We are good to go for some lovely, lovely time in that there Tahitian world. Welcome. We are having fun. Thanks for the follows to Mad Scientist, to Latte Anarchist, to Retro Gamer. Welcome, welcome, welcome for the follows. I don't know if any of you have made it into chat because I had a little bit of a break between Mad's stream and mine. But that's life. We're here. We're having fun. Wants me to tick off some short. Sure. Yeah. Good chat, bud. Excellent. So we've achieved our top half finish that they wanted for us. I've chucked a few random applications just because they almost looked gettable. They probably won't be, but you never know. But if we can get 1860 München, that's the big time. That's the big time for us. That is us living what some would call the dream, quite frankly, which is nice out there. I know it's 8 o'clock, I'm up early, a crazy time. Crazy times are happening on the interwebs. I am doing crazy things, because that's just what we do. But yeah, looks like we're up, we're good. Right, so Tahiti. Time to smash out some Tahitian wonderness. What do you want now, Tahia Irvine, with your weird name? Sydney needs to grow up. Sydney needs to get over it. He is our third choice centre-back. I think he'll probably get over it. In fact, let's try it. No? Okay, cool. Thanks, bud. Cheers. Cheers for your help. You've been very, very kind. Lovely. Right. So, our next game against Tairapu, who are actually behind us in the league, despite being terrible last year. Like, they're right behind us in the league. They were awful last year, so they've done a rebuilding over the course of the old break, which is nice. They're going to have time to challenge us, I'd imagine, which would be great. So let's expect them to beat us handily. That's usually how that goes. Almost always how that goes for us, to be honest, is that a team suddenly becomes good and we are the ones that pay the price for it. So, good, great times, but we'll see how things go. Hopefully well, but you know, we're almost there. We're almost there to the next old game, which is nice. Right, let's review a team selection. Looks like a team selection. I do need to get all these guys playing for the seconds, like for match fitness. That's possibly a thing I need to start doing. It's going to affect us for league games, but in fact I probably shouldn't, because the others are all currently getting match fitness. So we won't do that. That's too stupid for me to do. So proceed to match, and let's get this one underway. And all shall hopefully be miraculously fine, with the miracles that are miraculous and fine. That's allegedly English. I say allegedly English because you know what I'm like. I speak English perfectly. We're on a good run. Let's keep going with a good run. That's what we like to say to our players when they're on a good run. Sure. Thanks, Valdo. Cool. Yeah. Nice. Thanks. Hey, Jack. I'm good. Thank you. Life in Tahiti is treating me well. How are you? Life in Tahiti could not be grander, so I'm led to believe. But we'll see how I feel after this game, because the team we are playing are right behind us in the league, and last year they were absolute garbage. So Mad day at work, chilling on FC25. Fair enough. Fair enough. Sorry, SC26 even I can read. Don't let anyone tell you I can't read. Just because I allegedly can't. I haven't played in the FC26. I'm still playing 25 because I refuse to pay for a full price FIFA game. I don't play it enough to make it worth spending 60 quid on, so I just wait for it to come out on the old Game Pass. I don't need an updated squad that badly. It's still FIFA. It's the same game every year. Couple of shiny tweaks, but you know, 20 quid. That's 20 quid more than I've got lying around. 20 quid more than I've got lying around. I'll tell you that much. Oh Jesus! Come on, square it. That was poor. That was poor. Let's score this one. There's also those things like I've got the Game Pass, so I'll just play last year's until they put this year's on the EA Pass. Like it's not that deep for me. Like I know the manager mode looks much better this year from what I've seen, but I've got Football Manager, so realistically, I'm probably not going to put that much time into it anyway. Like the reason I stopped buying FIFA games entirely was because realistically, I probably play 20 hours of them tops, and it's just not the value of money. We don't talk about how Swindon got on this weekend. We were piss poor. We've been piss poor all week. In fact, for the last 2 weeks, we've been piss poor. We've lost to Salford twice in the last week, and then we lost to Bromley. And Bromley aren't even a professional football club, so I think the wheels may have come off of our must have come off of our promotion hunt. I didn't see the Liverpool game. I have heard that it wasn't great, but I didn't see it. Yeah, that's it. Losing to the top two in the league is not really a thing any of us enjoy. Eduardo Luis has scored. Caracas has scored in this game. We're on fire. We're on fire. I'm having a phone blow up the second I go live. It's not ideal. Like, guys, can't you see I'm pretending to work? My word. Yeah, that's it. And we've been like top two all season pretty much, and that's like when I say the wheels have come off. The wheels, my lord, have come off. They have come off. I thought we were on HMS Pistol League, and we are not. And I'm a little bit annoyed about it because we're seeing the same stuff creeping in that was there before Holloway, which is our players get really lazy in the second half of games and just concede stupid goals. Like they just can't concentrate for 90 minutes. It's really annoying. They're definitely not going to do a Warsaw. We're not. We're not. It's just, it is the way it is. I'd love it if we could just sneak back into an automatic promotion spot at this point. Like, the important thing for me, as much as it'd be nice to win the title, the important thing for me is just get out of this league. I'm so sick of playing League 2 football. I'm sick of watching League 2 football. I'm sick of us getting beaten by clubs who are, with the greatest of respect to them, no bigger than pub teams. It's just, like, we shouldn't be losing to Bromley. Bromley. And like I've had to watch us lose over the last few years to like Sutton United. Forest Green. Forest Green isn't even a place and they beat us. Yes and no. I think in League One, because we've got Ollie, we can get a much higher quality of player than people think we can. Like, we've got a much higher quality of player than we should have for this level. Like, for League 2 at the moment, to be honest. Like, we've got enough players that would be comfortable in League 1 that we should be okay to survive in League 1. But we should also be okay to be walking the league right now. So, it's a really tough one. It really is tough. The trouble is, there's no real difference in quality between a mid-table side in League One and a mid-table side in the National League. Between those 48 spots in the Football League pyramid, it's all kind of luck, really. It's luck and coaching. Safe to say Sheffield Wednesday are playing League One next year? Probably. I think we're probably, and I'm not just saying this because I'm biased, I think it's pretty safe to say that Oxford are playing League One football next season. And as you can imagine, I'm devastated about that. There's nothing I can think of that would upset me more than Oxford United getting relegated. If they could do it 3 more times, I'd be really happy. I think that'd be a really good year if we could get Oxford to be relegated 2 or 3 more times. Ideally to the Southern League. 37 points adrift and on minus 7 points. Yeah, that's it. It's not happening. I think, I might be wrong in saying this, don't Wednesday technically have to win every single game they have remaining to even have a chance of staying up? Pretty sure they've got to win almost every single game they've got remaining to stay up, Sheffield Wednesday. Also a chance to beat Leicester on Saturday even though they're piss poor. Yeah, but it doesn't mean we want to see it, you know? Doesn't mean we want to see it. You know, it's like Manchester United were pretty good on Sunday, but as a Liverpool fan, you don't want to see it. It's just, it is what it is, right? Yeah, Leicester are a tough one. Hello, Liam. Just started a Manchester United save. My deepest sympathies. Manchester United is a problem on this year's game. I've been working on a rebuild for the channel for 3 weeks now. And it probably will never come out because it's upsetting me trying to do it, just because you can't overhaul that side fast enough to get all of the lazy players out of it. United, they start with about 8 million, I think. Which is fine, in theory. I've built a Champions League winning team on less than 40. But the trouble is that... Oh, Caracas again. The trouble is that their players have just got such bad mentals and under the hoods and... Use random to give you a top 5 league team. Land on Man United and manage them. Fair enough. I am currently playing a 4-2-3-1 because Caracas is the only guy that can score consistently, but he doesn't really do it playing as a lone striker. And I didn't have anyone that was particularly good playing off. How has Dave Gordon Hunter ended up in Tahiti? I don't have anyone I'm probably responsible for it. I don't have anyone that is particularly good next to him. So Eduardo Luis is he's got no pace at all. He's just kind of there because if he gets in the right spot, he can put the ball away. But Caracas is our guy. You play as well. You play with 2 DMs, 1 CM, 1 DM. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I literally went with this formation just because everything I was trying wasn't working. We were just not scoring goals. We just couldn't score goals. And so I literally, just out of trying to get something going with this team and to get Caracas playing, how are they coming back from this? That's mental. Just trying to get something out of this team and to get something out of Caracas, I went to the 4-2-3-1 Gagan. This is literally the out-of-the-box Gagan, except I've got both of my wingers crossing in towards Eduardo Luis, who is sort of... They've been told to cross to the target man. He's not actually playing as a target man. He's not even good enough to play as a target man. But if they ping the ball into that vague sort of area, he is pretty good at just kind of bringing it down and laying it off. You'll play with formation, I reckon having your DM on ball winning and your CM on DLP. It's definitely playing at this level. Any kind of instructions are pushing my luck, to be honest. Like these players would struggle in the National League. This team's not that good at all. There's one or two players that are really good, but as a whole, like for Tahiti, pretty good side. For Tahiti, I'd say I've built I don't know, consistent top 3 or 4 side. But like if you look at our best player, if we search by ability, our best player is Carlos Eduardo, a centre half. He might do a job in League 2 if you're really lucky, but he hasn't really got any pace. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not a quality player. He's just a good player for this league, and he's probably among the better players in the league. And then you got like Eduardo Luis again. Like he's slowly growing in pace, very slowly, but he can't really finish. It's just that he's not quick enough to be on a wing, so he's playing up top just because he can bring a ball down and lay it off. That's really what he's good for. Like if I can find someone to replace him, I will do. How do you improve pace? You go into performance, you go into training, and then you set, which I haven't actually done weirdly, you set training to quickness, and it improves pace and acceleration. It takes forever, but it does do it. But then like you got Mario Jose here, like Mario Jose, again, National League player at best. He's got a little bit of pace about him. His mentals are pretty good for 22. But that's what he offers. Like, and then if we look at like Caracas, our goal scorer, first thing that's going for him is he's 6'5" with 18 jumping reach for a cam, which is disgusting. So you get him in the right place, he'll head it away quite happily all day. He can pass, he can finish. It's just that if you try and play him as a striker, he just kind of gets lost a little bit because he really isn't that quick. He just happens to be quite good around the edge of the area. So I'm really making do. And like if we look at the best player that's still here from when I got here, which would be this guy, the goalkeeper, Jimmy Tavayari, who was our first goalkeeper for the first 2 seasons we were here, 3 seasons we were here. He's crap. He's utter crap. The highest paid player in the league. Ooh. Now you'd think there'd be an easy way to get to this. You'd think. But there probably isn't. Can I go through teams that we can at least see who the highest paying club is and go from there? Finances. So AS Venus are spending £194,000 per year on players. So let's assume they've got the highest paid player, just for argument's sake. He's on £24,000 to £35,000 a year. And like he's probably quite a good player for this level, but I mean that's what, let's say for argument's sake and simplicity, 500 quid a week. Like he's being paid 500 quid a week, and he's the highest paid player in the top team in the league, or one of the top teams in the league. Like if we look at Tafana are probably up there as well, I would say. Like the net transfer spent £990. Tafana are the current champions of Oceania. They're the current continental champions. And their highest paid player is tops earning £26,000 a year. Like, it's National League North-South wages, realistically. And like I said, they're the champions of the entire continent. So, God knows. I assume some of the players in New Zealand are earning more, but probably not a lot. Like, we are financially crippled. Like, this club financially has nothing. And like, I'm known for being able to turn around a club's finances, but I can't do anything about this because that's what we bring in. We bring in £250,000 a year, And then once wages have gone out and all the other expenses, like I physically couldn't turn this club around financially in a hurry without, like, because the youth system isn't there to get the players through. Like if I could have just youth players in my team coming through, I would get rid of everyone else and I'd have half the wage budget and possibly more money. All non-contract stuff in this league, anyway, we can get sponsorships. So it's not all non-contract. Like none of my players, or very few of my players, just these three are on non-contracts. Everyone else I've got on a contract. Everyone else. Just because I'm aware of the mechanic in the game whereby if I decide to sell any of these players, because they're all foreign, someone from their own country will come in for them. So realistically, even though they've got a zero transfer value, it's not impossible I can bang a sell-on clause on, say, Eduardo Luis if someone comes in for him. In terms of sponsorships, I mean, that's what we get. Presumably there is a way I can get more. I think this league has a TV deal, or is close to the point where the game will generate a TV deal, but I'm not sure. There's no way to get a proper breakdown anymore, is there? There is TV revenue this season, last season. Oh, we're not quite there yet. But like, so this is last season's total total income. 337,000, and 100 grand of that was gate receipts, and the rest is grants, fundraising. It's a bit. Is it the Asian Champions League put together? No, it's the OFC Champions League. We got to the semi-final last season, and we got knocked out by Tofana, who won it. And they beat Auckland from the A-League in the final, which was fair dues. But yeah, I thought last season we would be in with a good shot of winning the Champions League. We just crumbled at the last hurdle, really. Which is a shame, which is why we're still here, because I've basically said we're going to win the Champions League and we're going to dip from Tahiti and go and find an Asian one or an African one. But I have had an eye on the job market as well. Oh, mate, in the European Champions League, they get battered. They would. It is actually technically possible, I believe, for us to qualify for the European Champions League. So one team, and it seems to be randomly selected by the game. It doesn't work the way it does in real life, because I looked it up. But one team from Tahiti every year gets selected to play in the French Cup. And, you know, if you win the French Cup, you could qualify for the Europa League. And then, if you win the Europa League, obviously you're in the Champions League. But, realistically, that's 50 seasons. That's 50 seasons minimum to get them there. Like, it'd be a great challenge for someone who wants a challenge, but it would be depressing to watch as a stream. It really would, especially because we would have to win the French Cup to have any money. Like, the quality of players I'm able to bring in is nothing. Like, it's nothing. I've got a squad full of like Brazilian, South American, etc. players, and none of them. I know one of them came from a top tier side in Brazil, and he was a released youth player. Oh yeah, we'd get smashed in the Conference League. Like, let's not make any bones about it. We'd get smashed in the Conference League. We would get absolutely taken to pieces. Like, it'd be like a pillow and a wood chipper. Like, we're nowhere near ready to be able to play European competition, even if we were somehow miraculously to qualify for it. The only upside is that there would be... It keeps connecting with this guy Luancinho, and he's not interested in joining us. And we can't afford him. It's really odd. We'll try again, but he's not interested. Oh, now he's in... We'll give him another go. We'll give him another go, but I don't think he'll join. I don't think we can afford him. I don't actually think he's that good a goalkeeper, to be honest, but... Yeah, I mean, there are things you can do on FM. Let's see, we've got 102 players total we can sign. there are things you can do in FM to sort of cheese the growth of a team. Like if you just sign players by reputation, which is like what I would call a Galactico save. You can sort of, you sign a couple of half-star players, then you can sign a one-star player, then you can sign a 1.5, etc., 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 and you can build a team of players you've heard of reasonably quickly. But then you look at them and go, they're all 38 and they're massively declined and they will be great for a year, but they really offer me nothing long term. I think the only way to make any money is to buy release youth players, sell for a profit. Yeah, it is. And the trouble is that I don't think any player has ever left this league for a transfer fee. And that's kind of why I'm just trying to win the Champions League here and dip. Because I don't have enough time in my life to invest in doing a proper build a nation for Tahiti. I'd love to. It'd be great fun. But I also am aware of just how much time that would take. Like the time I'd have to put into making that happen. We would be looking at me doing this for the entire year, pretty much 8 hours a day, to even have the fightingest chance of building a nation in Tahiti. And that's even just to get to a point where we can sell players for money. Oh mate, if Swindon offer us a job, we're going. That's the rules. I could be managing Real Madrid. If Swindon offer us a job, we take it. Because that's the one to win the Champions League with. Like it's this save is sort of. I'm already I wouldn't do Supermarine just because I'm currently managing them on YouTube. I don't like doing the same club twice in a year. Like, it just bothers me. It's a game with hundreds of thousands of clubs in it. I don't know why you'd manage the same one twice. Like, fair play to people who do, but I wouldn't have a separate save doing it. But yeah, Town offered us a job for sure. Would I manage Didcot? Probably. I actually quite like Didcot Town as a club. Their ground, for the level they're at, is incredible. Like, would I manage Oxford? Absolutely not. I'd rather set myself on fire, but you don't go behind enemy lines, do you, But Oxford City I will. Because we do have the Oxford City shirt behind us. I do support Oxford City as well as Town. So, Oxford City, absolutely, yeah, for sure. But by this time in an FM save, they're always relegated out of the playable leagues. And they probably won't come back. I don't think I've ever seen them, and I've played saves where I've got 20 plus years into the future. I don't think I've ever seen them come back after they get relegated. I remember that well. I was there. It was a great day. Ticked a few more grounds off the old hopper list. Good times. Unfortunately, it was not a great move for the club. Because the trouble that clubs like Swindon, Supermarine and Oxford City will always have is that because they come from smaller towns that they share with much bigger clubs, is that A, some of their fans won't come and watch you and you don't really have that fan base, and B, because the Football League and the National League don't talk to each other, which drives me fucking bonkers, by the way. If, say, Oxford United are at home and Oxford City are at home on the same day, Oxford City's gates suffer. and they don't talk to each other to make sure that doesn't happen. Like, you'd never see the two Bristol clubs or the two Birmingham clubs or whatever play at home on the same day. It never happens. But for some reason, it's acceptable when one team's in the National League to be forced to play on the same day as the bigger club in the city. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Like, it feels like that should be a conversation that people have. Like, had that been arranged, I feel like City could have survived, but because really at that level, we're only talking about 10 grand, but that could make all the difference. Yeah, but that's the thing. They have decent sized fan base of their own, but even then, they never play at home on the same day. I don't think I've ever seen them play at home on the same day. I know it's also for like police reasons, blah blah blah, all that bollocks, but there is that financial concern that I think the FA and the Football League and the National League just don't think about. And I appreciate there are places where it's harder to pull that off. But that's it. Western-super-Mare would struggle if both Bristol clubs are at home the same day. Bath as well. Bath would struggle. Yeah, but that's the thing. If it's a case of like there are two professional clubs, two decent level semi-professional clubs in the same league, obviously you can't just have one of them at home on any given weekend. It becomes a problem. But yeah, when you only got two major teams sharing a city, or two reasonably sized teams sharing a city, it doesn't make sense to not work with that. It really doesn't. And like they complain, oh, most of the football clubs in the country are in danger of going out of business and all that bollocks. And I get it, I do, I really do get it. But you're not helping, you know. Who have Truro because they were never staying up? Yeah, Truro's a really frustrating one. Truro should be able to support a league club. They're literally the only football club of any note at all in a county. The fact they can't bring in the money and the fan base and the players to stay up. The players is the problem. They can, in theory, bring in the money and the fan base to stay up. But asking someone to move all the way down to Cornwall, who is of a decent standard, knowing that if they can't make it there, they're then going to have to move house again to play somewhere else. That's a real negative for a footballer. Yeah, that's true. It's also Exeter or Plymouth or Torquay as well, to be honest. But like in theory, it should be possible, except for the fact that realistically, any player finding themselves that far southwest has already failed at Plymouth or Exeter or Torquay. You know, it's sort of the end of the line. But it's true of a lot of places too. You know, like a lot of clubs in sort of semi-isolated towns struggle to attract players. Like you look at Carlisle. Carlisle spent a fortune last year, but because they had to attract anyone to go and play in Carlisle. But even then, they were scraping because Carlisle's miles from anywhere. Yeah, that's it. That's what I mean. Troy's location harms them. It really harms them. Like, it's the one thing as a Swindon fan I'm always grateful doesn't count against, like, the fact the town's shit counts against us, for sure. I don't want the fact the town is a dump absolutely does count against us, and it should. Like, it should count against us. But it's also the fact that we're helped by the fact that we're near Bristol, we're near Oxford, we're reasonably near Reading. We're not a million miles from Birmingham or anywhere in the Midlands. We're Cardiff's up the road, Newport's up the road. Be in London in an hour and a half. We're not quite as bad off as we think we are. Yeah, I know Carlisle's only an hour and 10 from Preston, but like it just feels isolated. Like this, if you think like if you're a footballer, you're sort of, let's say, between 18 and 30, right? And you want to play your football on the weekend, then go out on the piss and pick up some girls and whatnot. Realistically, from Carlisle to have a decent night out, you've got to get on a train to Manchester, which takes forever. Well, that's nearly 2 hours. At which point, it's not fun anymore. So why would you go and play there in the first place, you know? Like, why put yourself through that? Right, I'd like it if we could score another goal. That'd be beautiful. Oh, Barrow, mate. Yeah, Barrow would not be great. Barrow would be awful. Yeah, I mean, when I was... Well, when Oxford City were in the National League, we had Barrow in the same division as us. And someone said to me, do you want to go on the away trip to Barrow? I just looked at it like they were fucking mental. We had to leave at 3 a.m. I'm not doing that. I don't get up. I go to bed at 3 a.m. I don't wake up to go to football at 3 a.m. Like, fuck, I'll follow the game on Twitter. You crack on. Because from Oxford, that's 6 hours each way. I'm not doing that shit. Not on your life. Like, I don't care about any football team. Oh, Caracas, he saves us again. I don't like any football team enough to travel 6 hours for watching an away game. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I've been to Barrow. I've been to Holker Street. Um, a guy I went to school with actually played for them. I went up to see him. Way before they were in the league. Long time before they were in the league. But it's a nice area, but I wouldn't go there for an away trip. I wouldn't have gone there to play either. Even when I was playing, I wouldn't have played for Barrow. I'd have told them to piss off. I would rather, like, from my perspective as someone who was a footballer, I would rather play in the Northern Premier League than play for Barrow. I would rather play for like Lancaster City and earn half the money than play for Barrow. Because it's just in the arse end of nowhere. Like, it'd be a miserable place to play football. And it's the side of football that actually a lot of people don't think about. It is simulated in Football Manager, but it's the side of football a lot of people that people don't think of. Would I have played for Bury? Location-wise, sure. I mean, I played at Gig Lane because I was with FC United for a little while, but if they'd come in for me, probably. I've played for worse clubs. Like, Jesus, I've played for Bradford Town. I'm not worried about playing for Bury. And Bradford Town was miserable enough. Yeah, I know Bolton could probably pay pretty well. Oldham too. At the end of the day, aside from not being Oxford, that's the next thing I look at is what are you paying, followed by where are you. Like, beyond that, I don't really have any feelings either way, but just don't be Oxford and pay well. Quite frankly, I know it sounds really mercenary, but you know, it's a job at the end of the day. If you pay me better than the person I'm playing for, I'll go for it. I don't know. It's like Swindon. We got battered 3-0 the season we went up. Well, yeah. I mean, but it happens with every club at some point. Like if you watch any team long enough, you'll have seen pretty much every team give you a hiding at some stage because it goes back and forth, right? Like, I think that's why it's so satisfying to watch Manchester United on the downfall they're on now, is because they spent so long just battering everybody that now everyone's getting it back. Oh, I love Charlie Austin now. Charlie Austin can have my babies. That man is a legend. He is, and I don't say this lightly, probably one of my favourite Swindon players ever. I'm still a little bit mad that he left us, but I get why he did. Like, the fan in me is mad that he left us. The footballer in me fully understands why he buggered off. Oh, Sir Wes, what a keeper. He can come home any time he likes. Sir Wes is welcome at the county ground any time. There was a huge, town fans were so upset when he left too. And it was a really weird thing. So, oh, why is he leaving? He's going for a smaller club. It's like, no, buddy, he's going to Rangers. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a big Rangers fan, but objectively, they're a much bigger club than Swindon. He's going to play Champions League football. Of course he went to Rangers. Behave. We did have Lawrence Vigouroux playing for us. I fucking love Viggs. What a keeper. What a keeper Viggs was. He can come back anytime he likes too. Don't know how he never got international caps. I think he's got 12 passports. Hey Retro, welcome to chats. We are dissecting miserable places to play football and discussing classic Swindon players and everything in between, to be honest. But welcome to the chat. Good to see you from Mads. Welcome to Tahiti, where the sun always shines and where I always seem to bottle any opportunity at a trophy that isn't the bloody Super Cup. Won 2 of them now, but we can't win the title or the regular cup or the bloody Champions League. It's getting a bit stressful. A little bit stressful, but it's fine. It's fine. What's the worst that can happen? What is the worst that can possibly happen? We stay here until someone else gives us a job, or we win the Champions League and I quit. Brian Kilcline. Now there's a blast from the past. Brian Kilcline. Brian Kilcline used to be a really, really good footballer for the younglings who don't remember Brian Kilcline. Unfortunately for Swindon, he was utter garbage. But, and I will say this in defence of that statement, he was 39 when he got to us. I was old enough to see Swindon in the Prem. I watched Swindon Town in the Premier League. I was there when Eric Cantona stomped on John Moncur's chest, and then John Moncur had to be held back from murdering Cantona, which he would have done without blinking, because John Moncur's the hardest man ever to play football. I was there on the last day we played in the Premier League when Leeds smashed us 5-0 at home. Ah, the good times. The good times. I was at Wembley when we went up through both playoff finals before the FA screwed us the first time. But I was at Wembley for both playoff finals. In fact, I've been to all but one of Swindon's appearances at Wembley. There's really going to be no one good here, is there? There's going to be no one of any use to me. Jack, this is a sore subject with me. This is a sore subject. European football with Swindon is a sore subject with me because Swindon Town are the rightful holders of the 1970 UEFA Cup. We are the rightful holders of that trophy. It was stolen from us by Arsenal. But we are the rightful holders of that trophy. And it makes me really angry they've still got it. The only team you didn't beat in the promotion season, 92-93. Trying to remember who that was. United? No, sorry, promotion season. Jesus. Ah, Newcastle. Aye, yes. Indeed. Yes. But, to be fair, that was the Glenn Hoddle side, and that side was unreal. Mostly because we had Glenn Hoddle actually playing for us, and it was peak Hoddle. Like, it was peak Hoddle. His best years as a footballer were spent managing Swindon. What year was Barnsley in the Premier again? 97, 98, and I believe 98, 99. I think they stayed up. I might be wrong, but I think they stayed up and went down second year. But I'll always remember, and Swindon fans will talk about this game for the rest of our lives, because, especially those of us who are old enough to see it, because it's like proper town folklore. We played Birmingham at St Andrews with Hoddle in charge. And we had a guy sent off really early on in that game. No one can remember who got sent off, but someone got sent off really early on in that game. And Hoddle basically told everyone else to defend, and then basically took on Birmingham by himself, and we beat them like 4-1. Last year in the Premier League was Huddersfield 18-19. That's because you didn't see Swindon in the Premier League. Been a season ticket holder since 1993. Fair. I am quite fond of a wee trip to St James's, which is something I don't say out loud often because I went to uni in Sunderland, so I have to be careful how I say it. Like, when I was at uni, I snuck off to St James's a couple of times, and then never mentioned it to anyone I knew at uni because they were all Mackhams. But I was like, I don't really want to watch your tin pot little club, so what do you want from me? Indeed. Like, a number of times I get on the metro to do anything. Get into Newcastle as quick as possible. Sheffield United, Derby County. Wolves have got to be up there. I think Wolves might already have cemented their place as the worst team in Premier League history, but like, if they stay up, Rob Edwards deserves a statue in Wolverhampton town centre. Frankly, if they stay up, Rob Edwards deserves a knighthood. But it's very unlikely. It is very unlikely. Yeah, that is an I speak situation. I used to have to travel through Wolverhampton quite regularly on the train. And pulling into Wolverhampton train station is the most depressing thing in the world because every building around it is boarded up and derelict. It looks like you're entering a war zone. Like, if I lived in a city that run down and shitty, and I say this as someone who lives in Swindon, which is getting there, I would personally arrange for every member of the council to be hung. That's wild. Erdington or Wolverhampton? I don't think I've ever been to Erdington, so I can't have a vote on that, unfortunately. But if I had to, I can't imagine anything worse than Wolverhampton. I don't think Pripyat is worse than Wolverhampton. So, apologies to anyone watching from Wolverhampton, But just saying, paintbrush and a sponge wouldn't hurt. Yeah, I don't really know Dudley. Birmingham's fine in the centre. Birmingham at least has something going for it in the centre. Let's not. I don't know too much about the outskirts. The outskirts could be friggin' awful, but I never go further than the Bull Ring. In fact, to be fair, if I find myself in Birmingham, I rarely make it further than Tim Hortons. So, in fact, I have literally got on the train to Birmingham just to go to Tim Hortons. So, there you go. I think I've been to Bromsgrove, like, for football, never for, like, any other purpose. But it was years ago, like it was the 90s, but I think I've been there for football. Back into there, we have a day out to football for less than a year's wages. Oh, the good old days. Oh, the good old days. Calvert, you need to come out, bud. Contreras can go in, and we'll hope that gets us a goal. When I say neglected time, we'll see Bolton. I've seen Bolton many times. It's not even close to Swindon or Wolverhampton. Like, at least in Bolton, they try and the local council puts in an effort to make it look less. Do they succeed? No. But they try, yes. Right, Mr. Potter, you're on. You're on, that's fair. And I think we're going to send in Des at left back. Send in Des, see if he can do something about it. Big Des. Played everywhere but in goal for me this season. It's not even that good. Just enjoy the fact that it's Des Lynham. When we were saying staying Rochdale is the roughest town in the country. Is Rochdale a town? Is it a town? Like, is it not just a suburb of Manchester? Oh, Shang Sha Ming has scored. Inspired putting him up front. I bloody love Shang Sha Ming. He's not even that good. I just bloody love him. He just scores for no good reason at random. There's no reason he should be scoring goals at any level. He's barely good enough as a footballer to be a football journalist, but he scores goals. Fair, I mean, I don't know. That's one of those things where, like, Stockport and, like, pretty much just Stockport I consider a town because it's technically in a different county to the rest of Manchester. And then I sort of look at everything else as being just like suburbs of Manchester at this point, because there's no gap between them. Like, even Bolton and Wigan are sort of suburbs of Manchester at this point. Like, you don't, if you go between the trains, you don't see, like, them on the trains, you don't see any fields. So therefore I consider them all to be the same place. Hello, Liam. Half of Bury's in Lancashire. Well, all of Bury's in Lancashire. Manchester's in Lancashire, is what I'm saying. I'm good, Liam. How are you doing? We've just been discussing some past Swindon Town players. We've discussed Charlie Austin, Brian Kilcline, Sir Glenn, Sir Wes, Lawrence Vigoureau. All the hits, all the classics. All those people you're too young to remember. I know. Off to Nottingham tomorrow. Oh, buddy. Buddy, why'd you do this to yourself? Why? Don't do this to yourself. You know better. You know it's a mistake. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Plus, realistically, there are two good things about Nottingham as a city. There are two things about Nottingham as a city that I appreciate. One is that they've got a statue of Brian Clough, which they should have, because frankly, that's the only reason anyone knows where Nottingham is. And second is that for absolutely no good reason, they've got a Hooters next to the train station, and it's the grimiest place I've ever been in. I literally went in one because I'd never seen one before in person, and it was the grimiest fucking place I've ever walked into. Ooh, staying the night. What do I think of Forest? I quite like Forest fans. I think they can be rightly proud of their history. I don't know if they're a club I care about, but they're, they're all right. It's an okay, it's not the worst. But like Liam, you're coming from Swindon. It's not going to be a downgrade in terms of quality of place. But you really, really should just trust me on this. Go in Hooters for like a quick half, and I promise you'll understand everything I've just said about it. But it's an experience you will tell your grandchildren about. Like, you walk around, you know, you're like, oh, this is quite a nice place. It's quite clean. Like, they've got a couple of unis. Everyone there is reasonably friendly, and you walk into Hooters, and it's like walking into the worst Weatherspoons you've ever been in, whilst trying to pretend not to secretly be like a half-assed strip club. It's incredible. It's an experience I recommend everyone has at least once. And people say Leeds are a massive club, they need to think about life. Leeds are a mid-sized club. Forest are a bigger club than Leeds. Oh, controversial. Controversial, Jack. Yeah, trust me, don't stay for more than like 15 minutes because you'll catch something. But it's an experience that you need to tell your friends about. You do, because it's just you cannot believe it until you've done it. It's the most American thing in the world, but it's in Nottingham. So, like, there'll be some waitress walking up at you in this tiny top, like, trying to act all sexy and shit, but with, like, a proper Nottingham accent. And you know, like, she's freezing to death and just should have made better life choices, like possibly heroin. What Leeds won, though, apart from one European Cup back in the day? I mean, they've won several league titles and FA Cups. They were the dominant team of the 1970s. Certainly the early 1970s. They were a pretty big deal. Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing a job like that. I've got low standards, and that feels degrading to me. And I've openly said I'd start an OnlyFans. And I still consider that better than working in that Hooters. Well, I've never needed drugs badly enough to work in Hooters. Right, I signed the goalkeeper they kept nagging me about because I was sick of them nagging me about him. I am definitely not going to sell feet pics. Not anytime soon. I don't know if this keeper's any good. Like, it says he's better than the keeper I've got. I'm just going to kind of go with God on that. Because, honestly, our first choice keeper's not exactly fucking Manuel Neuer, so we'll see. In fact, our goalkeeper probably isn't as good a goalkeeper as Manuel Neuer's testicles, to be completely blunt, but we'll give him a go. We'll try him out. What is the worst that can happen? Aside from, you know, him being a goalkeeper who isn't very good. Right, let's have a look. Let's expand well, just searching by pace. I'm literally just searching for players by pace. I'm gonna trial everyone who looks like they might be a bit quick, and if anyone wants to sign, they can sign. Some of them have played for us before, which is the worst part. Saravao from Birmingham for 17.5 mil, 10 for a 2.5 star, but 5 star. Same with the keeper in the academy. Good stuff. I just realised I've just signed a keeper, and we got a really, really good young keeper through our academy that I've not played. Balls. I guess he's going out on loan then as soon as he turns 17. Well, these are all the players with a respectable level of pace that were available for us to scout, and whenever I get a chance, have a listen to this. Hang on, let's plug in the old headphones, shall we? Plug in the old headphones. I'll do a live reaction. A live reaction to whatever this is. And you all can follow along by clicking. Keeper is 22, 1 world goal per year was well buzzing. Cool, fair. Let's plug them in, see what's going on the SN1 Insider. I'm guessing stabbing or teen pregnancy. Ooh. 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 That was tough. That was not okay. That was honestly a little bit upsetting, to be honest. Because as much as I love Ollie, don't fucking come for Sean Hodges like that. That man's a legend. See, now I'm torn. Now I think some of the problems at the club are probably actually Ollie's fault. It's probably Ollie's fault we've got a... what's the nice way of putting this? A sex offender as our captain. No, absolutely not. And especially big Sean Hodges. Why are these all yellow? Anyone know why all of my players have turned yellow? They can't be carrying bookings, surely. Because it'd be here. Oh yeah, I know Ollie's always been like that, but that's too far, even for him. Even for him, that's too far. Like, he's got to know he went too far. I feel like someone needs to have a chat with him and be like, buddy, no. You've just made us all look stupid. Who are some of these people? Alright, we're in a situation now, because I don't know who any of these people are. I literally clicked quick pick because I wanted to see if any of our see which goalkeeper it will pick, and I was going to go from there. And now I don't recognise like half my team. We are going to keep Luan Senior on the bench, though. He won't get sacked for that. He won't get sacked for that. Frankly, because our chairman doesn't have any balls. Quite frankly. I have said many times that our club is so badly run in terms of the morals of the upper management. Not Ollie, but the people above Ollie. That anyone who's on a semi-respectable wage with us would have to get caught with their dick in a baby or an animal to get fired. Hence why Ollie Clark still has a job. He shouldn't have a job. What the fuck is that manager wearing? Fucking show up dressed like will.i.am to manage a football team. What is that nonsense? Yes, Swindon always had bad ownership. It's true. My entire life, bad ownership. You get passed from one band of criminals to another. Hello, Mad. Welcome to the chat. Let's see if it will let me give you a shout out. I hope it doesn't make me type all of that in the right case, otherwise it's going to be... I'll be here all day. We're getting there. Too many letters, right. Shout out to the Mad Scientist, creator of all the greatest retro databases. Do go check out all of them. They're all incredible. If you want to play football from pretty much any year, Mad Scientist has got you covered. Also an excellent streamer, content creator, YouTuber, human, pride of Denmark. Welcome in. Lovely hang out in your stream. Lee Power or Clem at this moment? I still take Clem because he's less of a criminal. Berry Matt and Rogan and Steve Dale. Don't get me started on Steve Dale. Man needs hanging. There we go. Liam giving props to Mad as well. Yeah, welcome to Tahiti. We're having a good time in that we've sort of found some form. I've just signed a goalkeeper that I genuinely don't know if he's any good, but our scouts think he's better than the one we've got. I'm not convinced. I think he's just the same numbers, the same total number of attributes slightly redistributed, but he's not currently playing because the keeper we've got is on decent form and we're on a bit of a winning streak, desperately trying to erase last year's terrible memories of going out in the Champions League semi-final to our league rivals, and every team around us seems to have improved dramatically over the course of the transfer window, the summer transfer window, such as it is because it lasts forever. And we really couldn't sign anyone. Like, I had a choice of like 70 players over the summer, and only 2 of them were good enough for us. So it's a bit tough. We're struggling through though. We've got this boy, Zhang Xiaoming, 6'2" Chinese winger with absolutely no talent at all, but he seems to keep scoring goals. Like, you're an expert on the old attributes, Mad. Have a wee look at this fella, and I love how the shout out came after the stream, and that's beautiful. That worked. This fella has been scoring goals for us quite regularly for about 3 seasons on and off, and he genuinely should struggle to buy a ticket. He's just quick. He's got nothing else to offer anyone, but he keeps scoring goals, so we're going to keep loving him. Yeah, he's... If you love that, Mad, you should check out the Supermarine save on my channel. I've got a winger playing for us at Supermarine. It's called Frankie Monk, right? We're currently in the National League. He was with me when I joined the club in the Southern Division 1 South, and he wasn't really good enough to be there in the Southern Division 1 South, but he's 6'4", so I just started for funsies having my right back ping crosses at his head, and he's had 30 goals a season every season until this one. He consistently scores 30 goals a season and assists about 20 and shouldn't be anywhere near the National League. shouldn't be able to watch the National League on telly. Like, that's how far from it he should be. Shouldn't be allowed in his own subscription, but he's scoring goals for fun in it. It's incredible. But yeah, it is very much a stacking shelves in Tesco kind of idea. It's incredible. Because he's one of those players who's so obscure, the game has randomly generated most of his stuff. Like, if you find him in your own game now, he'll be 5'3" with no pace and no ability to do anything. It's just everything's been generated to a point where the game just thinks he's like prime Duncan Ferguson. It's unbelievable. I love the guy. Like, I keep having these moments where I'm recording, like, he's not actually good enough to be here anymore, but I don't want to let him go because I just like the fella. I just like that he still scores at a level that he has no business playing at. He just has no business being at that level. But fair play to him. He's putting in the work. He's getting the results. But really has no business being there. Would I say most of my players are rubbish for any other teams outside of Tahiti? I'd say most of my players are rubbish for any other teams outside of Earth, to be honest. Any teams outside of their own club. I don't know if any of them are good enough to be where they are, to be honest. They're just the best I could get, and we're sort of scraping some results together. Like, to the point where I'll show you an example. So we've got this guy, right, Agustin Guglino. Again, by no means the best player you'll ever see in your life, but at least he's slightly better than Zhang Xiaoming is, right? We can all agree, slightly better than Zhang Xiaoming is. He's now played 50 plus games for us from the second division in Tahiti. Got a bit big for his boots after this season, so he was going to go back to Argentina because he was going to do better, and didn't even get like a sniff of a game for them, and then came crawling back. And this, like, Concepcion are so far down the Argentine leagues that I had to Google them to work out where they were, and still had no idea. As far as I can tell, Concepcion are basically a pub team. They're basically an Argentine pub team. And he just couldn't get a game for them. But there are no words for how bad some of these players actually are. It's like I was saying before, the best player in our squad would maybe get a game in League 2 on a really good day. On a really good day. We've got a couple more that might be good enough for the National League, and then everyone else. We also have the really, really weird 4 points for a win system, which nobody can convince me makes sense, aside from being essentially a way to give out participation trophies. Because you get 4 points for a win, 2 for a draw, and 1 for a loss. So you physically cannot finish the season on 0 points. It's not possible to finish the season on 0 points. It's such a weird system. Evening, Simon. Welcome. Best player wouldn't even make Swindon reserves. Our best player wouldn't make Swindon Supermarine reserves. Let alone Swindon reserves. Probably it's not necessarily the best team I've ever coached, but I have come to terms with the fact that we're probably not leaving Tahiti until we get a Champions League under our belt, because no one wants us. So, but yeah, welcome in, Simon. We've got a good collection in chat. Good collection in chat. That's what we like to see. Yeah, sure. Let's call a press conference. Just because, why have 5 people turned up for this? Why does Tahiti have 5 football papers? Like, I'm no expert, but that can't be good business. Like, Paul Welking set up with Bohemians, good stuff. Like, we've got 5 football papers in Tahiti coming to ask me questions, and our average attendance is somewhere around 270. Make it make sense. Just make it like the average attendance for the biggest club in the country is 500 people. They can't be covering the printing costs. The population of Tahiti, great question. Don't know the answer off the top of my head, but I'm gonna Google it. Population of Tahiti is 191,779. I didn't see you put guesses first, but there we go. You know the answer now. It was 191,000. 191,000 people. So, what are we talking about population-wise in terms of like... Let's just go in terms of English cities, shall we? Population of Tahiti is slightly bigger than Oxford or Slough. So we're not... Yeah, and they've got 2 levels. Kit of the day. We've got Bear Shots current away kits. I like, but I am a sucker for a purple kit. You will always get me with... Kit knows you'll get me with a purple kit. Purple kits. Oh. Every club should wear purple, except Oxford. Fuck them, they're not good enough for purple. How if they have 5 new... Yeah, exactly. Exactly my point, Jack. Exactly my point. Someone, or I say someone, at least 4 people in Tahiti are bad at business. Because at least 4 people went, oh, football paper's a really good idea. I'll set up my own. No. No, just buy into the one that exists. What are you doing? Yeah, I'm sure some of the newspapers are just covering our town, but even without that, 3 of them were dedicated football newspapers. 3 is too many. Like, if you consider for the UK, we don't have 3 dedicated football papers. It just feels like too many. I feel like the game's got a bit overexcited with the generating of the football papers. But also it does show the scale of what we're dealing with, and that I'm trying to build a team that can win a continental title out of essentially an island the size of Slough and any Brazilian that happens to randomly wander past me. Like my hiring standards for players at this point is, are you Brazilian? Well, guys, where do we think I'm going to sell Zach Parkin to? Answers in the comments. Where do we think Zach Parkin is going to get 1 bid accepted from to go to? Bet you can't guess. I'll give you a clue. It's not Winchester. It's also not tack. First guy should just be asking, can you kick a ball without falling over your feet? Pretty much. No guesses in chat? Zach Parkin's going to Wroxham. That's where it's going to go. Sorry. I'm biased. He's going to Wroxham. He is going to Wroxham or he's staying. Those are his options. Carl Heath has announced his decision to retire. He feels he no longer has the ability to continue playing football. He intends to retire on the 5th of July 2033. He's 21. That's quite the lack of confidence. He's also somehow a free agent despite the fact he actually plays for us. I know he's currently on trial with us, and I've brought him back on trial. Haven't I? he not here on trial? Yes. But yeah, from Tahiti to Wroxham is a career move. Recommended. Well, Carl Heath retiring at 21. He will be missed. Radio 4 will put out a 7-part documentary on his illustrious career. Was that harsh? A little bit. Do I care? Not a lot. Right, Warren writes off Chancellor signing parking. Probably does, because I refused the offer. Why did he say he was retiring? It said he was retiring, and to be fair, he wasn't wrong, because he no longer has the ability. He feels he no longer has the ability to continue playing football. Now, my question is with Mr. Carl Heath: under what circumstances do you think he ever had the ability to start playing football? Because he's currently on trial in Tahiti and he's got 1.5 grey stars of current ability at 21. I'm not saying that's a clear sign you're not good enough to be playing football, but that's a clear sign you're good enough at football to be a cricketer. Yeah, at least being wise. Well, he might get a job at Tesco. I don't know if they have Tesco or Aldi in Tahiti. It's not something I've ever had to look up. And I don't really intend to start now, but I'm going to guess they don't have one. They probably don't have a Tesco or an Aldi in Gibraltar either. Maybe. It feels like it's a Marks and Sparks, Waitrose kind of place. Sure, someone will know. Google will know. Does Tahiti have Aldi? No. Does Gibraltar have Tesco? Sort of. Wow. Wow. I just learned a thing. Tesco has a shop, or Gibraltar has a shop called the Food Co that sells Tesco and Iceland products. Is TT available on the game? Is it a downloadable database? A downloadable database. I'm using Timo's Tahiti database. If you're going to download an additional league for your game, I recommend using Timo. I almost exclusively use Timo's. Unless I really want to play in a league and he hasn't done it yet, I almost exclusively use Timo's. If you shop M&S, make sure you posh. The food is good there. Yeah. If you can afford to go into M&S, much less shop there, you've got to be pretty posh. I'm pretty sure I could get arrested for even thinking about shopping at M&S. It's Boxing Day. Yeah, Waitrose, posh shop. Never trust people who shop at Waitrose. They've got too much money. How? I don't understand how the auto pick is making these choices. Grandad does his weekly shop at M&S. That's too much money. It's too much money. I mean, no judgment, but that's too much money. I'm not saying I'd encourage you to off the old fella, but make sure you stay in the will, right? Just make sure you stay in the will. Because that fella's got too much cash. Find Tesco a little middle class? Fair. Right, let's try out the new goalkeeper just to see if he's any good. He might not be, but we'll give him a go. Right, I'll be back in just 2 seconds though, because I've got to find more liquids. Okay, we're back. What I missed? Club car prices are elite. Yep. Everton losing to Leeds. Wowzers. Wowzers. Right, before we play this game, just a very quick time. I don't know if I mentioned this recently, but I wrote a book, exclamation book, in chat. Go grab a copy. It's so close to hitting official Amazon bestseller status. I did the math and I need to sell like 7 more copies and it'll hit Amazon bestseller status. Not as impressive as it sounds because so far I've sold 12. But there you go. That's a thing I've learned. Next time you see a book is an Amazon bestseller, I reckon I can get to 20 copies sold and be on the Amazon bestseller list. It's really easy to get on. It's not that big a challenge. But there we go. Either way, I get to be called the best-selling author if I get myself up to about 20 copies sold. So I'm not unhappy with it. I'm not unhappy with selling 12 copies. It was just the fact I found it funny that I did the math, and I reckon if I hit 20 copies, I'd probably get on that bestseller list. Only in category, not across all of Amazon, but even so, it's deliciously funny to me. It is a novel. If you go to the link that's about to pop up in chat, thank you for following Tranmere Fan.
Are you following me?
I was actually just going to ask you the same thing.
It should pop up in a second.
Okay.
Hopefully.
You're hot.
If
I may
Stream Elements
resist
is
for a
awake.
while, but we both know eventually I'll give
Stream
in.
Elements?
So why don't we just skip that? Why don't you put a
Hello?
baby in me?
Wakey wakey Stream Elements. Wakey wakey. Fine, I'll put it in chat. You can read the description-y blurby bit on the old Amazon website there. It's by far the best book I've ever written. Some would say the greatest book I've ever written. So, you know, it's strong endorsements. If you are... My sister sent this to me the other day. Fair. So, if my sister sent this to me the other day, I can't show you because it's on a message full of other things, but if you ask Gemini about my book, it says that reviews are saying that it's a seminal piece of queer literature or something. And I was like, I don't think reviews say that at all, Gemini. I think you've made that up. If I had to guess, I think you're making that up because it has no reviews, so I don't know how reviews are saying that. You can read it on Kindle, you can read it in paperback, you can read it in hardback, you can read it in the bath, on the tube, on the train, on the bus, in your beds, on your sofa, even at your mum's house. You can't yet read it in any other languages, largely because I'm really lazy and I haven't bothered doing any translations yet, and no one's asked me to. Not yet. Audiobooks are prohibitively expensive. Finished chapter 7. Excellent stuff. Ploughing through this book. A friend of mine bought it on Friday and then messaged me early, but I finished reading the book. I really enjoyed it. I was like, how? I cannot read a 400-page book in 4 days. How have you done? What, did you have nothing else to... If I translate it into the Tahitian language, but I think, that's French. That's actually not that big a challenge, if I can remember any French. But I can't guarantee it'll be in good French, and that's the trouble. I could probably get it into reasonable Spanish or Swedish if I really think about it. Yeah, I feel like I probably would need a native French speaker. There's some nuance in it. I don't think there's a chance in hell that I would even be allowed to sell this book in mainland China. I would be shocked. I'd be shocked if I was even allowed to sell that book in China. Even if Amazon gave me the option, It would be a miracle. It would be an absolute miracle if that book was allowed to sell in mainland China. I think, if anything, that would increase the chances of me being disappeared by the Chinese government. Definitely not North Korea. Absolutely not North Korea. How are we down to 10 men? Why did I not move Mario Jose across? I'm such an idiot. Never let it be said that I'm well smart, because it's a lie. Really is a lie, because I do stupid stuff like that. Right, Giglino, you can come off, mate, for no pace Marcos Jose. It would go down a storm in North Korea. Yeah, go on, recommend it to old Kim. Kim will love it. Just tell him it has the word boobs in it. All over it. Pretty sure it has the word boobs in it. It definitely contains the word tits at least once. Because it's nothing if not classy. He will claim to have written it, but it will sell more copies that way. So as long as he pays me, I don't care. But yeah, it's a classy book. Don't put it near any children if you do buy it. Or elderly people. Or particularly religious people. He did allegedly dupe Koreans into thinking they won the World Cup, but even so, this might be a step too far for him. Might be a step too far for him. I feel like I should organise some kind of marketing campaign for the book where I just get people to mail copies of it to J.K. Rowling. Just order a copy off Amazon and have it sent to J.K. Rowling. I don't remember. I think that was the game where it was 1-1 at half time and they turned it off and said the feed had been cut, but they won. I think that was the story I heard. There's something of that nature. Jesus Christ. We held on to the 90th minute with 10 men. And they've gone and done that to us. That's ridiculous. To be fair, I also made fun of this guy's name last time we played him, so I sort of deserve it. I don't remember that. I remember last week, to be honest. But then somehow I made dinner earlier, ate dinner, and then like an hour later I'd forgotten I'd eaten dinner. And then went to eat dinner, I was like, no, I've actually eaten, I'm not hungry, what am I doing? Clearly I am smart. So, honestly, it's amazing I remembered enough of my life to make a novel out of it. And that's genuinely impressive that I remembered enough of my life to turn it into a novel. Most corrupt World Cup of all time is Japan, South Korea 2002. Well, I think we're going to test that theory this summer. Just a theory, but I think we might test that this summer. And if we don't test it this summer, we'll certainly test it at the next one. Parkin rejects Roxon. Filth. How dare you not want to play at Trafford Park? How dare you? What an ungrateful peasant. The one after the US is the one that's being held on every continent so that Saudi Arabia automatically got 2034. So it's the one that's being hosted in like Morocco and Uruguay and I don't know, deepest, darkest sod in Peru, and is it France or something? I don't know. Every continent bar Oceania has a country hosting it. Every country but Oceania and Asia, purely so Saudi Arabia could get it, because Australia was smart enough to know that it wasn't worth bidding against Saudi Arabia, because technically it does mean that Australia is the only country that can host the one afterwards, but FIFA's corruption will see that doesn't happen as well, which is a shame, because I quite like an Australian World Cup. It'd be a bugger to watch on the telly, but I think I'd actually go to it. So, like, I think I would quite happily just spend the month in Australia, randomly go into World Cup games. But, you know, it's nearly 10 years away, so I'm not going to stress about it just yet. There are teams in South America that compete in the French Cup because of French Guinea. They are part of France, yep. Like Tahitian clubs compete in the French Cup. Clubs from Guadeloupe, clubs from New Caledonia. A couple of other places as well. I don't know if any of the French-speaking African countries send entrants. Don't think they do. Tahiti is part of the French Commonwealth, is that what it's called? Someone will know better. Where's Elodie? Elodie will know. Someone will summon Elodie from whichever random chat she's in. Elodie will know what the Kingdom of France is called. Our go-to FM expert on all things French. Like, most of us can just barely point to France on a map, and Elodie will be like, this is the most popular cheese in this particular town that no one's ever heard of, just outside the village of whatever, by the river whatever. 17 people in the village are called Pierre. Fucking love Elodie. It's such random knowledge, but I love it. I could Google it, I'm not going to. It's weird there is no teams in Gibraltar to compete in the FA Cup or the British League, even though they're British technically. Yeah, but then I guess the British equivalent would be like, not just Gibraltar, but it'd be like having a British Cup and inviting people from, like, I don't know, Anguilla or Antigua or whatever, you know? Or whatever other countries we've stolen over the years. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Hong Kong. I keep trying to get my brain to remember what the French overseas territories are called, and I can't remember. Part of the French Polynesia, which is an overseas collector of France. France isn't a kingdom to do with the guillotines. Indeed, indeed. Les guillotines. Let's ask Google, what is the French Empire called? The French Empire. Excellent. Thanks. That didn't really help me at all. They're the French Overseas Departments, that's what they're called. They are Guadeloupe, Martinique, French Guiana, Réunion, and Mayotte. But apparently Tahiti also qualifies because we get clubs from Tahiti in... Do you know what? I don't fully understand. That's fine. It's not my circus, not my monkeys. It's all okay. What just happened? A thing just happened. I saw a thing pop up. Did we hit some kind of thing? Did we hit some kind of milestone whilst I was looking up French dependencies? 180 followers? Wowzers. That's it, lads. I'm buying a yacht. We're retiring. We're all retiring to the yacht. Do welcome if that was you, of course, but don't expect me not to crack jokes about us getting a yacht. Also, I've decided we've got a new goal for the YouTube channel, guys. We need to settle in. We need to lock in. We need to make this happen. I'm relying on all of you to help make this happen. There's a new goal for the YouTube channel. Mad knows what it is because I already revealed our secret plans, right? Our secret plans for the YouTube channel. We've got a new goal. And I'm deadly serious about this. Deadly serious. If we get to 1 million subscribers before Zealand does, I'll buy a football club. Deadly serious. So try to lock in, tell everyone you know, just lock in. We get to 1 million subs before Zealand does, I will buy a football club. Not a good one, but nobody else can promise that. Just putting it out there. Nobody else can promise it. Oh, it'll be like some tier 11 club. Like, let's not... It'll be some club that's barely in Dan's databases. But it would still be funny. So, imagine a random Football Manager YouTube community collectively, we'd own it together, we'd vote on stuff, collectively owning a random non-league football team. Just saying. Not just like one YouTuber buying his local team. But like, yeah, like we'll just, you know, we'll casually buy some random team that plays at a level that's barely above park football. And we'll have a laugh. I think it's a banging idea. But to make that happen, we've got to get to 1 million sub before Zealand does. So just putting it out there as a challenge. Largely because if we don't, I can't afford to. So, but if we get there, I might even throw a wee party with free food and drinks. I might even go that far as to splash the cash on a party. So that's our new goal. I'm not going to set like an unrealistic target like just 1,000 subs by the end of FM26. We're going for a 4 million. 4 million before Zealand does it. He's halfway there. We've given him a head start. But I think if we all lock in and work together, we can make it happen. Just putting it out there. Just out in the universe. Just lock in, we make it happen. If I hit 10 million before Zealand, I will buy Manchester United and I will turn Old Trafford into a car park. A beautiful, most beautiful car park you've ever seen. Yeah, fine, take him. You know I wouldn't do that to you, Simon. I wouldn't do that to you. I'd never do that. I'd buy Oxford United and turn it into a car park. It's nearly there anyway. It's nearly there anyway, to be honest. I could buy Oxford United, turn it into a car park. I've only got to knock down 3/4 of a stadium because they've never finished it, so it's fine. I don't have enough money to make the mighty Liverpool great. I don't even think 10 million subs would be enough to make Liverpool great again. I believe 10 million subs would roughly equate to £500,000, to be honest. Like, I don't actually know if 1 million subs is enough to buy a football club. I haven't done the maths on it. Like, you can't expect this plan to be properly thought through, because it's not going to happen. To the point where I'd argue that if Zealand hasn't hit 1 million subs by now, no one's ever going to. But my point stands. If I make it there before he does, we buy a football club. Graham Dorrans, how dare you? How dare you, Jack? We have lore on this channel. That is the mighty Kyle Lafferty, European football's greatest shagger. He's a legend. He's a legend of the game. We put respect on the name of Sir Kyle Lafferty. He has at least 17 families on 12 continents, with 43 different women. It's true. Rumour has it that Genghis Khan, when he was a child, had a poster of Kyle Lafferty on his bedroom wall and thought, one day I want to be just like that man. I like how every manager in Tahiti is female. None of them dress well, but every manager in Tahiti is female. The stadium is even bigger than your garden shed. Yeah, it's an impressive. Look, don't be blown away by how massive Tahiti is as a footballing nation. We're huge. I mean, look at our attendance. We've got 139 people in this ground. 139 people in our stadium. Barcelona can't do that. Just saying, Barcelona couldn't put 139 people in our stadium because they wouldn't try. But if they did try, they'd do it quite easily. But the important thing is that we tried. 139 people more than Man City. Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired. Oh my god, it's Deng Zhongtao in goal. Bloody love Deng Zhongtao. I know nothing about the guy, I just love his name. Let's have a look at the beast that is Deng Zhongtao, a 30-year-old Chinese goalkeeper who seems to have randomly found himself in Tahiti for quite a long time. He has played at every level of Tahitian football at least twice. Like, he started off at this level, got relegated with Papanu, then got taken to Aru in this level after relegation, then somehow dropped down to the 3rd tier and worked his way back up. You cannot tell me that Deng Zhongtao is not a hero. Some say he's the greatest hero in the history of Polynesian football. Not many. Less than 300 people. But yeah, keeper with no talent stays around for the vibes. Every team's got one. Every team's got one. In Swindon, we call ours Lewis Ward. Right, Edwin Caracas is going to score a pen. It's what he does. Edwin Caracas, done. 6'5", never scores with his head, scores with his feet all the time. We don't know why. We'll never know why. But he's going to push us all the way back to the Champions League, and we're going to win it. In theory. In theory. In theory, we'll win it. Well, that does mean probably spending at least another week in Tahiti. Real time, not like, you know, game time. We've got to respectfully roast how bad our squad is. The thing is, when you play FM at this level, you have to at least make fun of it a little bit, otherwise you'd go mad. Like, you have to have that quiet kind of acceptance that you're not coaching quality footballers. What you're coaching is people who show up. You just have to kind of accept that in the back of your head. Like, realistically, I know that I am 40 and very out of shape, and I probably start in the Tahitian league. And I haven't kicked a ball in anger in well over 10 years. So, like, it's a low level of football. Right, let's just go back out there, guys. Let's do it again. We're going to get another goal. We're going to call this one a day. It'll be beautiful. I was kind of hoping we'd be in the top 2. Oh, the best team in Tahiti wouldn't get into the EFL. Like, I showed you Tafara, who are the best team in Oceania's best player earlier, and he wouldn't get into a League team, or he might get into a League 2 team at best. They'd get massacred by an average League 2 side. Like, it's really not even close. It was part of the appeal of adding Tahiti into this save, was that I thought, if we go and get an Oceania Champions League, New Zealand's too obvious, but Tahiti's the closest thing, and it shouldn't be too difficult. And then somehow I've still managed to make it difficult. Largely because I didn't know that Auckland from the A-League get to compete in it. I mean, it's not that mad. We're doing all right in League 2 for a little while this season. But yeah, we would go on like an unassailable era of dominance. Edwin, I love you, bud, but what the fuck was that? On what planet did you think that was going to come off? Just like the slowest paced daisy cutter you've ever seen. And I call it a daisy cutter, but the daisies didn't notice it was coming past. Like, it was low, it was slow, and it was useless. Yeah, Tahiti is quite literally in the middle of nowhere. It's right slap bang in the Pacific Ocean. It is a very, very small place. Very isolated from the rest of the world. Like, this is not a country on the footballing map. I was like, why have I got 2 up front? It's because it's in combined view. I knew. I was testing you guys. That was a test. You all passed. Flying colours. Well done, guys. Proud of you all. Let's get Des on. And let's get old Whingebag Sydney on. Why not? Let's get old Whingebag on. Sid, Des and Harry at the back. Just magical. Another Swede. We found another Swede in Tahiti. So the 3rd one. Why are there so many Swedes in Tahiti? Like, I know it's a beautiful place, but it does seem a little far out for a Swede. Yeah, Tahiti is near New Zealand, but they're 10 hours behind us. I like near New Zealand is a stretch. Like, they're really nowhere near New Zealand. They just happen to be in the same stretch of ocean as them. Like, if I had to guess, I would imagine flying from Tahiti to New Zealand is about as long as it is to fly from, like, London to Prague. Like, it's quite a distance. That'd be a horrifying, like, flight as well, because, like, if something goes wrong, there is nowhere to land. Here's my match report for Thiago Andre, who played for AS Tac against Matea. Cool. 19 years old, grey moustache. Make it make sense. Just saying, if I was 19 with a grey moustache, I'd shave it off. I wouldn't have one. I wouldn't have one. Be gone. Because you'd walk around all day, you know, and your mates think you look a bit silly. Realistically, you would wake up every morning knowing all of your mates think you look a little bit silly. Okay, we've got the big game coming up. Some say the biggest game in Tahiti, the Clash of the Titans. We're playing AS Taravao in the Cup. Haiti are the smallest nation ever to reach the World Cup. How mad is that? Well, I mean, it's not that mad. Haiti is quite a small place. However, technically speaking, they are not the smallest country ever to reach the World Cup, because I have seen an Australian club play at the World Cup, and I saw a thing on the internet that said that Australia doesn't even exist. How mad is that? Australia is a made-up country. There you go. You all learned a thing. You've all heard of Australia. Doesn't exist. Entirely made up. Only exists on Neighbours. Just dropping knowledge bombs. Just dropping knowledge bombs. Come for the Football Manager, stay for the education. Stay for the education I provide for free. You've been walking around living in this myth that Australia is a real thing. Oh, Scott, you don't want to go? It's alright. There can't be too many snakes and spiders. It doesn't exist. The internet says you can Google it. You can Google, does Australia exist? And Google will say no. It won't, but it's really depressing to know that you won't. It will pop up as a suggested search when you do that. Like, that's genuinely searched like more than once a day. Tom Rowan, thank you for your service, but we have to let you go because you're not very good. Mr. Jago. I had an English teacher called Mr. Jago. He was a prick. And just for that, he can go. There we go. And that's a thing we all learn together. Not me, but you know, you guys. Oh, I am starting with the yawning. It might be time. It might be time to make a cup of tea. We could almost be at tea time. It's a fine stream tradition where I get to this stage in a stream, realise I'm starting to tire out, and I make a cup of tea. Whilst you guys kind of all sit and chat and talk among yourselves. I know it's a weird tradition, it's highly entertaining, but long stream today. I am planning on going to about midnight. I will switch to some Zomboid reasonably soon, possibly after tea time. Just because we haven't done any PZ in a while. Where did he pop up from? When did I take him on trial? They do think it's a conspiracy. I told you. I told you. Australia doesn't exist. Conspiracy theory. I mean, my sister claims she lived in Australia for 3 years, but I just think she turned her phone off and got lost down the pub. I just think it's a convenient excuse for her drinking. Can't prove otherwise. There's going to be like 6 people who watch this back on the VOD and don't understand that was a beer. I'm going to wake up tomorrow to people with comments, oh, you said Australia doesn't exist, I'm from Australia. G'day, Roo. There you go, they're all happy now. They're all happy now, I spoke their language. £250 away for Tahiti football is madness, but it is what it be. Sure, you can loan Ronaldo. You have fun. You know what? You can probably have Rafael Keller. He's only had 1 good season for us, so probably okay. Geez, one of our players actually agreed to join Poe. Now we just need some players to join Tinky Winky Dipsy and Lala. If you didn't understand that joke, you're not old enough to be here. I'm just putting it out there. Or you're not in this country, but it is possible that if you didn't understand that joke, you're not old enough to be here. Right, Rafael Keller, he's gone to Poe. 1 half decent season for us. He won't be missed. Rather do this save than a big club, looks like a challenge, plus to roast how bad my players are would be funny. Yeah. Oh my god, Poe are going to actually sign all of our rejects. Thank you, Poe. You've been trying to do this for like 3 seasons now. You've been desperately trying to sign every reject I've had. And it hasn't come off for you once. But now you've finally got yourself into the same league as us. You can sign all of the players I don't want anymore. They've done it again. They've got another one. These boys. Never let it be said that I was making fun of AS Poe. Because they don't need to find out. As long as they keep signing all of our players that we don't want, we're good. Paulo Juma, you are not good enough for me to sign, but I sort of still want to because you're from Mozambique playing in Germany for some reason. But we won't. I am just looking at players I've already looked at this point. As Poe don't need to find out the players they are signing are utter garbage. Yeah. Yeah. But it's always a risk to say that at this level, because what could happen is that Rafael Keller could go there and quite easily score 20 goals for the rest of this season, just because there's really not a lot between the teams here. But we've just sold them 2 players and their team is now 10 times better. So realistically, have they done us or have we done them? We've probably done them. Actually, now I know where to find. Now I know where to find the XG table. Sorry, the thing. I say now I know. Someone taught me this earlier. There's a way of doing this. There. There. So Poe are supposed to finish 10th, and they're not currently 10th, but that's okay. AS Excelsior are supposed to go down, and they are. But Poe should be higher. So it's fine. It's all good, right? In fact, how many games have we played today? Been at this for a little while today. How many games have we played? We've got through 6 games in 2 hours. That's pretty good for me. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. All right, I think. Where are we at? Hour in. I think we do another half an hour. I will need to go and find some more liquid. Another half an hour. Then we'll play some Scrandle. And then I'm going to go kill some zombies. Or we're going to go kill some zombies. I think that feels like a plan. Because like I said, I haven't stretched the zomboid muscles in like a week. And we have got a little bit of a mission. I've been scouting. I've been learning how to not die in zomboid. I've been given some really good advice. For those who remember the last time we played zomboid, apparently the house I've decided to hole up in is like the worst house on that side of the map to hole up in. So we're in trouble, and I didn't realise it. We're very much the Ralph I'm in danger meme. But yeah, let me go grab more liquid, and then we will try and put Tafana out of the Coupe de Polynésie. And then we can be in the semi-finals. And I've heard rumours that the semi-final is a really great place to bottle a trophy. I don't know who told me that. It might have been experience. But we'll find out in like 2 minutes. Okay, right. Tafana. Am I changing anything? Yes, I am, because Edwin Caracas is a little bit tired. Who's our next best Edwin Caracas? Who's our next best Eduardo Luis? Cool. Let's put Connor Cole in there. Why not? He might be good. He might not be good. We'll find out. Either he's going to score a goal or he's not going to score a goal. It's a completely 50-50 chance that one of those two things is likely to happen. I know it's a wild suggestion, but one of those two things is very capable of happening. So, we'll see. Pressure's on them. What have we got to lose? Absolutely nothing. So I was just having a little side eye at the what's going on in the FM category of Twitch. And it looks like Zealand's raided someone completely random because I've never heard of them before. Last I looked, Z was on, and now someone I've never heard of has like 240 viewers. So I'm almost certain there is no way that didn't happen. And like, I'm happy for them, but they must be scared shitless right now. But oh, Tafana has scored with fake Anderson. Oh, yeah, they cannot be having a good. Yeah. I feel a little bit bad for them. They do appear to be freaking out slightly. Anyway. Good times. Right, Redigolo and Mario Jose passing the ball back and forth. Gaglino's going to score. No, he didn't. He didn't at all. That is not a thing that happened. Not a thing that happened at all. But we're going to score now. This is where we beat Tafana. Come on, boys. Come on. Finally beat Tafana in a meaningful game. That's all I want from you. Just because we owe them. Really bad. We really badly owe them, guys. That's it. That's the Eduardo Luis. What a boy. He doesn't have his friend to score goals for him, so Eduardo Luis has decided to score goals for himself. And frankly, not before time, because I was getting a little bit worried 10 minutes into this match that it might be a hammering. And we're back on terms, and that's good. That's lovely. It's nice. We're at home, and we probably should be getting a reasonable result here. But the important thing is that we made friends along the way. That's right. Cole's going to take a corner. It's going to be 2. You watch. We're going to take a lead. We're not going to take a lead. We're not. This is quite poor. Try again. No. And again. We bloody took a lead. Zhang Xiaoming, who is not. Oh, he's offside. I was going to say he's not good enough to be here, but he did be here. Let's play for set pieces. Why not? If nothing else, it's funny. Because we've got no one that can take one at all. I love it. I decided just because like, you should play for set pieces, boss. I shouldn't, because we literally have nobody capable of taking one. Like, playing for set pieces is largely redundant. Much like having a defence. You know how when I first looked at this goalkeeper, I was like, I don't actually think he's better than what we have. I'm being really convinced I'm right. I literally shouldn't have signed him. I shouldn't have signed him at all. I was misled by a combination of star ratings and media enthusiasm. I don't actually think he's that good a goalkeeper at all. Largely because he appears to barely have hands. That's all I'm saying, is he appears to barely have hands. But anyway, that's not my business. This is my business, and my business is the business of business. I've got so many windows open. What's going on? So many windows open. There we go. Right. Half time. We've been unlucky. Thanks, guys. If you could, I'm not happy. Not happy at all with your performance tonight. It's disappointing. I have not seen a single good impression of Mickey Mouse. It must be to discourage long shots, but we're getting quite a few on target, so I probably don't want to do that. We'll do it. Why not? The assistant manager gave me the good advice of let's try for set pieces, even though we don't have anyone that can take them. Realistically, he can't get all of his calls wrong, can he? It's almost impossible to make that many wrong decisions. One of them has to be correct. Like, one of them has to statistically be a good idea. And why is Gaglino chasing that down? Why isn't Redigolo picking it up? I don't know. Cross has gone in. Shang Xiaoming scores an equaliser. Is it offside? No. We have successfully scored the equalising goal against Tafana, the best team allegedly in Oceania. For now, because we're coming to knock them off their perch. This goal should put us somewhere in the table. It doesn't. It's a cup game. My God, why am I allowed to be in front of a camera? Mario Jose out to Cole, to Redigolo, forward for Gaglino, back to Redigolo, to Mario Jose, Karamoko does a thing, Calvo, Jose, Redigolo, Mario Jose to Calvo again, over the top, looking for Gaglino. Can he get a crossover? Yes, he can. Eduardo Luis only has inches. That's what it says. It's not me. The game said that. Don't sue me, Eduardo. The game accused you of being under-endowed. Okay? It wasn't me. Gaglino to Redigolo to Cole. Cole, ball forward to Eduardo Luis. He goes up wide for Shang Sha Ming, who's going to get our third goal. Not from that shot. Premonitions, not prognostications. To be fair, he's probably not going to get our third goal because he's knackered. Most of our players are exhausted. Like, they genuinely are knackered, completely shattered. And it's a shame because we are all over them. I just don't know if we've got the legs, even with subs, to get ahead of them. And it feels like I should make those changes and just go fully attacking. First thing we'll do is we'll take off our whole defence. Sydney, you're coming on. Contreras, you're coming on. Redigolo, you're coming on. Coming off. And Fernandez off for Dez. And then I just need one guy to impress me. And I think we're sending Marcos Jose in as the 10. I know Cole is the least tired of our attackers, but trust the process. Very attacking. Let's go do it, boys. Let's go smash them. You all know your jobs. You all know your roles. We had 30 shots on goal. We've had 11 shots on target. We've got a 2.3 xG. I just need one more goal from literally any of you. Literally one more goal from literally any footballer on our team. This is it. This is where we're going to do it. This is how we're going to pull it off. We're going to win this one back. There we go. Contreras does that job. Good stuff. Love it. All the way back to Luancinho. Sydney hoofs it. Doesn't find his man. It's fine. Mario Jose is there. He's going to go to Marcos shortly. No, he's going to have a pop from range. It's going to do absolutely nothing. And that's pretty much, I'd imagine, where our chances of achieving anything end. That was it. That was everything for us. That was everything for us. And look, we tried our best. And we failed anyway. And what that means, chat, is that if we don't score here, we're going to extra time. You're doing well. Keep going till full time. Come on, lads. Let's get this done. I've got one more sub left. I'm probably going to use it to send on a defensive player and try and push for pens. Because that's pretty much what I do. We all know I'm basically a penalty shootout merchant. So that's offside. Don't even know why he was allowed to shoot. That's offside. It's offside. It was not officially a shot on goal. That was an offside. Right, good. Hoof. So we'll have to see a hoof. Contreras, go on, get on the ball, son. Get on the ball. Back to Luancinho. That's what we'd like to see. Sydney to Calvo. Calvo forward for Marcos Jose to Shang Sha Ming. Lays it forward again for Marcos Jose. Finds Shang again. Shang with a cross. Shang. Gaglino almost with a he's the smallest man on the pitch. He almost got a header. Wild how that works out. Desperately saving this last sub. Just because I don't know what to do with it. I mean, Gaglino's got to come off, and Gaglino's tired, bless him. Gaglino's not going to finish this game. It's got to be said. He's got to be replaced. It's going to be probably Anderson. 7 shots and didn't win. Yeah. 37 shots and didn't win. But I've got a secret weapon because I've got Mr. Anderson on the bench, right? It's going to come in. We're moving Zhang to the right because we know we put Zhang on the right. He scores goals. Anderson on the left. This is where we pull it off. This is where the miracle happens. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Zhang's there. Look. Zhang's going to cut it inside. Cross goes over. Gaglino. Oh, it's headed off the line. My word. Right, turn. Shoot. Oh, Agustin Gaglino. It's his last touch of the game. And Agustin Gaglino has won it for us. I'm calling it now. Agustin Gaglino has won the game for us with his last touch of the game to make it 3-2 in extra time. Tofana, they're done. Cooked. So what you like. Tofana, that's it. Goals in chat. We're done. We're cooked. We're winning. This is the single greatest performance a football team has done in this match. Say what you like. You say what you like. It's the greatest performance anyone has ever seen from us in this game. That was a pointless highlight. I was like, that was a spectacular attempt at a cross. It didn't go anywhere. Right, Gustavo, what you got, buddy? Nothing. Give it to Sydney. All right, good. Anderson, looking for Marcos. Why are you trying to put a through ball through for Marcos Jose? Continental Drift moves faster than Marcos Jose does. Sake. We've done the hard work, boys. We've done the hard work. And you go and make a stupid mistake like that. Realistically, almost everyone involved in that move was offside. And because you've decided to score our own goal, the linesman's not put his flag up. And now we are going to pens. with players who frankly are too tired to be on that pitch. Shang Xiaoming will be lucky if he can walk tomorrow. Right, let's do this. Eduardo Luiz has been brought down. Why would you play that quickly? On what planet was playing that quickly the right call? That was realistically just about within shooting range, and you played it quickly to a player who's too tired to be there. Right, let's just send them. Let's just send it. We're just gonna send it. Except for Luan Senior. Buddy, calm down. I give up. Restaurant and States and Leagues that have far. I know they did an FM24, not sure about this one. I don't know if refs can still make mistakes or not. I don't know if they can still make mistakes or not. It always used to be the licensed refs couldn't make mistakes, but the unlicensed refs could. But there's no licensed refs, so presumably they can all make mistakes. I mean, they have to be realistic, because let's face it, when was the last time you saw a competent referee? First qualification of being a referee is you have to fail an eye test. And the second is you have to fail an IQ test. Eduardo Luiz has scored. We're good. We're ahead. Luan Senior has a chance to become a hero. Literally all 5 newspapers in Tahiti. Mike Dean. Sure, he had a howler or two. Was Mike Dean not the guy that booked 3 people in the same match? Someone will know the answer to that. I'm not going to look it up. Someone can tell me in the chat. Was Mike Dean the guy that once booked 3 guys, or booked a guy 3 times in the same match? I have a feeling it might have been. I know there was at least one ref who booked a guy 3 times in the same match. Like, the rules of football are not complex. And somehow they were made complex that day. Right. This feels like, because nobody has any good players in this league, this feels like a penalty shootout that could conceivably carry on until the end of time. See, Calvo's missed. But it's okay, because it's entirely possible this one could be landing in New Zealand. We'll see. It's Benjamin Nunez. Alright, he scored. Nobody panic. It's going to be okay. Because stepping up for this next penalty is Mario Jose. He's too tired to walk properly. He's waddling to the spot. I just don't have words. What I do have is emojis. That's all I've got. That's all I've got to offer is emojis. We have once again bottled it against Tofana. I don't like it. It's becoming a meme. Have I heard of someone called Mr. Teeny? I have. I believe we were both in Mad Stream earlier. Was it Mads? Was it Kev's? Was it Llamas? Was it GNG's? Someone smarter than me knows the answer to this one, because I know Simon was at least one of those chats with me, and Mad's lurking in the background somewhere, probably whipping up an incredible database, possibly set about 25 years ago. Yes. Yes, I'm aware of Mr. Teeny. I'm very excited for a skin that doesn't hurt. Very excited. You cannot imagine how excited I am for a skin that doesn't hurt my face. This is like staring into a light bulb, this screen. Okay, I don't want to side quest too much before a rousing game of Scrandle, which I assume people would like to partake in a rousing game of Scrandle. But my biggest bugbear of FM26 so far, aside from the crashes and the fact that most things don't work properly, is here in the preferences. It's here under accessibility. Okay. Now, and this is just in case anyone from Sports Interactive should happen to see this, or it happens to get clipped and they get shown this. Accessibility options. These two here are for epilepsy, and I don't disagree with them being there. It's fine. I'm okay with that. I am a grown-up. This is for colourblind people. I don't know what any of these words mean, but I assume colourblind people do. And again, I'm fine with that. I don't know what this does for accessibility. I don't care. If it helps someone, I'm good. Why is it that FM doesn't have an autism mode where I can turn this skin into one that I can look at for 16 hours a day or whatever without starting to feel like I've got a migraine and or want to vomit? Why is that not here? Why is that one thing not here? Like, I'm going to go on a limb, and it's a flimsy limb, and I feel like some people are going to find this hard to imagine. But I reckon a sizable percentage of the Football Manager audience is in some way on the autistic spectrum. I don't think that's a big stretch. And a lot of us are really sensitive to bright colours. I'm just putting it out there into the ether, on stream now in the community, that probably having a skin that is mostly bright purples most of the time, and is generally just full of bright explosive colours like a children's cartoon most of the time, is probably not helping. But that was by the by. Like, if you look back on most of my content over the years, you'll find that I've very quickly found a dark skin, like a skin that is mostly black and white, and mostly black at that. I'm sure, I know I had a little look earlier. There are a couple of darker skins I'll try out over the next couple of days that have appeared out there. But like, my favourite skins were always the really dark ones. Like, I didn't mind Jax for FM24. Jax was great. Jax was fantastic for 24. If I get a WTCS skin for 26, I'm happy. I'm perfectly happy. But this is just a bit too bright. I did see one earlier that I might try out. Can I find it right now? Of course I can't. That'd be too easy, wouldn't it? I know what some of these people are thinking. Whose idea was to make a bright pink skin? I have a lot of things in my life. Bright pink. I don't need my skin. Bright pink. Was it that one? I think it's this one. This was the one I was looking at earlier. Oh, hello. Hello, gorgeous. Ooh, this could be the kitten. You might have played a blinder. Liam, you may have played a blinder. This might be the kitten. Let's hit a download button. Hope we don't crash this stream. We are going to give her a go. It does say it's for 26.11, but I assume if you're still using it, it still works on 26.12. It does say it's no longer supported. But we'll have a go. The worst that can happen is nothing. Right. Who is currently with me in chat? Roll call, people. Who is out there? I know some of you are just passively watching. I see some names. Who is currently actively watching to stream? Whoa, welcome. Liam is there. Bit of a roll call. Bit of a lovely little roll call. I'm just asking because if we're going to have a rousing game of Scrandle, I need it to be more than just me and Liam. Otherwise, we're basically just sat here looking at food, which feels a little gratuitous. Is anyone else out there in the world? Is Simon still around? Is Kit around? Because I see Kit's name. Is Kit actually actively in chat? I even see young Doom hanging around. Hi Doom, welcome. Lovely to have you here. Wally's up for Scrandle. Liam's up for Scrandle. Scrandle is a magical experience for us all. Why is Scrandle not showing? Why are you showing chat now? Why do you hate me? What is wrong with my thing? Scrandle? I know I've got you loaded, buddy. There we go. Scrandle. Good. Okay. We'll see if anyone gets involved in Scrandle, shall we? Maybe they're all just sat there silently, patiently waiting for Scrandle. So, without any further ado, let's play Scrandle. First up on today's episode of Scrandle, we've got Peoria City from Illinois with a hog wild. Maybe they're eating items from Scrandle, it's possible. We've got a barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese with bacon bits, fried onion, sour cream and barbecue sauce for 9 whole English pounds. Or, at Manchester City, we've got a Korean barbecue loaded fries, £7 for season ticket holders. If you're a non-season ticket holder, you have to pay your firstborn child into their academy. Liam is saying right. It's valid. Well, you guys have both said right, so we're saying right, and right wins it. Only just, though. We can feel better that it was only just. Right, Sparta Prague have got a spicy sausage, haven't we all? And Sydney FC are offering sushi rolls. The spicy sausage, it's Coach Zanko. Welcome to chat, Coach. We are playing Scrandle. Feel free to get involved. Basically decide, left or right, which one looks like the tastier food. We've got Sparta Praha offering a spicy sausage for £3.30. We have got Sydney FC offering sushi rolls for £6.80. Oh, we've got a split vote. Liam's saying left. Wool is saying right. Coach isn't helping by saying both. Have you not had a chance to eat since coming off stream, Coach? Are you just like raw dogging it through the night? Is that the plan? We'll give Coach a shout out while we're here, whilst we're mid Scrandor. Do go check out the Coach. We'll go left then. We'll go left. If you're not following the Coach already, go follow the Coach. Having a lovely time with Admira Vaca in Austria with some youth players with a youth challenge. Right. This requires real focus. Brøndby, some would argue Denmark's club, a club from Denmark, are offering you sausage, a beer, and, frankly, an unfinished ice bun for £12. Or the USA are offering garlic fries and cheese pizza for £13.50. So, fuck it, Innsbruck. Oh, I'm sorry. I knew it was a club. I was rushing around. Right. Liam says left. Wool says right. It is probably shite, but it's pizza. So yeah, go check out the Coach. Fuck it, Innsbruck with a youth challenge. We love to see it. We're happy to see magic happening. I believe Coach has the casting vote. Coach is saying right. Are the good people of the Scramble universe agreeing? No. Wow, £12 for a Carlsberg, and you're still saying... I'm not judging Liam, but £12. It's basically £12 for a Carlsberg, a sausage and a bit of bread. Right. This is weird. I'm not sure I'm okay with this. So, Hull are doing loaded chips for £4, but that does look a little bit like someone just smeared goop on some chips. Bali United of Indonesia, and this has got to be a piss take. This has got to be a piss. Someone's taking the piss. Bali United of Indonesia are offering an ice cream sandwich for 50p. Sadly, not an option. Chuck both in the bin. An ice cream sandwich for 50p, but I do want to admire this. They have literally put a slice of ice cream in some bread. And it is only 50p. I feel like for 50p I'd give that a go just to say I had, but I also know it's going to be terrible. Whereas this at least is probably food. So I guess we're going left. Left feels like the play. Left has it. But I fully admire the gumption of going, we put some ice cream in some bread, mate. It's an ice cream sandwich, 50p. Right, Wolves. Previously discussed during this stream. Bread with ice cream is not normal. We've previously discussed Wolves on the stream so far. Tikanan for £6. Or Barnsley from Yorkshire, loaded strip hot dog with fries, £7. Looks like we're going right. Wool, are you saying right? Or are we going to have a conversation about this? Is it going to be right or is it going to be left? I mean, a ticking nan is alright. Don't know why your nan's ticking, but she's ticking. Or a loaded strip hot dog. Made with loaded strippers. Made by loaded strippers. We'll go right. Barnsley SC from the US. Oh, what? No. Someone just got lost. What's happened here is this food looks marginally fattening, so Americans tried to claim it. That's what's happened. They don't understand. Yorkshire also likes fried food. Yorkshire wins. Alright, we've got another ice cream sandwich from Bali United. I don't know why they keep doing this to me. Is this genuine? Is this what people genuinely think an ice cream sandwich should be? Is just some weird ice cream shoved in bread thing? This cannot be anything but trolling the Scrandall people. And the pizza, yes, it's £8, and it's a bit greasy looking, but it's pizza. Like, it's true. It's not a nice looking pizza. Bali are definitely trolling us. This cannot be a thing people in Indonesia actually genuinely go for. But the pizza looks mouldy. I think it's just too much cheese. My sister would kill me for saying those words. But I think it's just they've put so much cheese on it that the herbs are floating in the grease. Pesto pizza? Pesto pizza is just herbs floating in grease. I am going to maintain that grease. We've got a Stillwood smash. Might have a pesto base. Liam, what are we saying? Are you gonna go smash the slightly greasy, mouldy / pesto-y looking pizza, or ice cream and bread? Liam's saying left. Liam would genuinely prefer ice cream in a bit of Wonder Bread over this pizza. I think pizza's gonna win, but not by much. Not by much. Guys. Alright, okay, I didn't read it. We could be in solid scram territory here, right? So, Dortmund, bratwurst, tiny bun, don't know why, covered in goop, not sure why, £2.50. I think we're cooking with this one. But on the right here, Almeria coming in strong from behind, chorizo roll with olives, and the chorizo roll doesn't look like much. But you also get a beer for £2.50. And this is the bit that I think puts its finger on the scale a bit. It says beer with a beer. It says with a beer down the bottom. So essentially you can get a bratwurst, but don't be wrong, bratwurst is magical. But this is essentially beer with a snack for £2.50. So, we're going left. Okay, we're going left. Left wins, but not by much because it was beer with a snack. Alright, we're back into real territory now. Liverpool are offering us a pizza. That's fair. Liverpool are offering us this pizza for £6.50, which I think is pretty respectable. If you want your local takeaway, you get a lower quality pizza in this for more money. But this hot dog is not cooked, and not only is it shit, it will give you the shits. I would bet money that hot dog is the most lethal thing in Australia. And Australia is famously full of things trying to kill you, if indeed it exists. But this hot dog might be more dangerous than any spider or snake. So I feel like we've got to kind of default give it to the pizza. Just because it's not a weapon. 6% of people said they would put that in their mouth. They are the bravest. They are the Royal Marines of football scranners. Those are the people you send to war. Apparently 2022 there were 6 packs. There are 10 now. Jesus wept. Right, we're back in real territory now. We're back at it's America. Americans know how to feed in unnecessarily large quantities. So we've got LAFC, arguably a team in Los Angeles. They've got carne asada fries, which essentially just means spicy meat on fries, in a souvenir bowl for £15, which is the bit I have a small problem with. I don't know why you put a souvenir bowl. It's one of those things where we don't ask that question. If it's America and you can brand it, they'll sell it. Or we've got kimchi fried rice with chicken for £11.25 in New York. Without the bowl, it is a fiver. You're not wrong. Without the bowl, that's a fiver. They do look good. Liam said left. Liam's gone bowl with left. Coach is torn. Wall's gone with the lack of pretentiousness, which I value. Coach is a casting vote. It's a casting vote, coach. This is what you get for being the coach. Coming into stream at exactly scramble time. Ah, right's the right way. I'd have said right too. Right has somehow lost that. Apparently people love getting mugged off. Alright, we're back at it again. Sydney with the death dog. For some reason, 2 separate people felt like this needed uploading. Or the Frankenfeast hot dog from Harrogate Town. Now you know it's Yorkshire. It's proper scran. It's proper scran. It's gotta win. That's the game. It wasn't even close. Fuck's sakes, indeed. Australia is now officially off the map. It's no longer a conspiracy. We've just banned them from Earth because Sydney put that shit into the world. Sydney put that garbage out there onto the planet Earth, and they thought it was acceptable. And I think we all safely disagree. Right. Let's recover some normality. So I feel like what we're going to do is we're going to play one more match. I've decided we're going to play one more match. There are people on YouTube watching the VOD, by the way, who have got really confused and missed out on a game, but it's okay. But in coach's honour, because I feel like we need a proper coach to help us out here. Because Christ knows I'm not one. We've got to play Manuura, who sit above us in the league in our next league game. So what we'll do is we'll play that game. I mean, there's nothing particularly up. We are comfortably third in the league. I say comfortably, we're not comfortably anywhere. The top 5 are within 4 points of each other. But I feel like it'd be cruel for you to join the stream and just witness us talking about really shit stadium food that's either overpriced or deadly, and not get to witness at least a tiny sliver of the magic that is the Tahitian League. And coach, when I say the magic of the Tahitian League, I promise you, you don't know what you're in for. You think you might have an idea of what you're in for, but we have to show you this the way so we are on a journey. We've found ourselves in Tahiti. I've sort of decided that because we've wound up in Tahiti after spells in Greece, Scotland and England, that we've got to win the Oceania Champions League. It's sort of turned into an accidental hexagon. This is Tefana. They're the best team, not just in the league, but on the continent of Oceania. And this is, by our estimation, one of the highest paid players in the entire continent. This is the level we're performing at. This guy potentially has a Champions League medal. This is the level we're dealing with. It's not great. It's not even particularly good. If he's not the best player, if we look at if we just were to casually go to a season preview with the best 11 for the league, it thinks that this guy Guillermo Viana, their goalkeeper at Tefana, is the best player in the league. And you wouldn't rush out to buy him. So this is the level we're at. This is the level we're at. If he came up on your save anywhere in Europe, you'd probably ignore that and forget he existed. We have no players in the best 11 in the league. Manuura have been on a remarkable journey alongside us. I'm going to save before I do this, because we know what happens when I click on the club info screen. This has become a meme. Every time I click on the club info screen, the game crashes for no apparent reason. So we're going to save it before I do this. Before we do anything else, we're going to save it. We don't know why, but every time I do it, this happens. Alright, we've got this far. Can we get to the bit where it shows me the club history? We can. Have I clicked on entirely the wrong tile? Yes, I have. Because it's that one I wanted. So since they came up, they have been habitually floating around mid-table at best, usually near relegation while we've been here. They are now second and thriving. We don't know how it's happened. I'll never know how it's happened. I've tried to figure it out and we don't know. But basically, we've got to play them now. And you are not prepared for the low quality of football that you're about to see. We are at a level where, I'm just going to promise him more football. He should be playing. I've been mean to him. Where a player with 8 pace looks like Usain Bolt. You aren't prepared, coach. You're not prepared. You'll never be prepared for what you're about to witness. It's magic. It's beautiful. I've got a Chinese winger. I think your worst youth player would start for me. I would wager the worst youth player you've had on your save would start for me. Like, for context, the best player at our club, let's go by rating because the star ratings are bobbins. Somehow Augustin Guglino is our best player this season. Your worst youth player, I reckon, from Austria, would make this fellow would make your worst player look like Messi. He's truly an awful footballer. So this is the level we're dealing with. Anyway. Yeah. And not only is it the level we're dealing with, but it looks like the level we're dealing with in the match engine. The match engine doesn't know what to do with this. And sometimes it has truly comical results. So, for example, and I won't show you the goal because I'll never find it without hunting for the rest of my life because of how FM's work. This guy, James Dunn, has had 1 appearance and 1 goal this season. And I'm not gonna try and convince you that this guy's a good player. But he did score this goal. That if I tell you it blew me away, you still weren't ready. It wasn't that. Was this game against Venus? It was. When I tell you this goal blew me away with just how tremendously special it was for this level, bearing in mind this guy does not have any talent whatsoever. He's a random fella I found in Gibraltar that was willing to sign for us. That's basically, I found this guy on Twitter and said, hey, do you fancy playing football? And he went, sure, I've got nothing else to do. Now, I don't know why it's showing the 90-minute counter up there. Ignore the first goal, it's fine. The second goal, this player, James Dunn, with absolutely not a lick of talent to his name, pulled off that. Welcome to Tahiti. Welcome to Tahiti. that you do not get that quality of football in the match engine in Europe. You don't get it. You just don't. You never see it. It is worth noting that AS Venus are historically one of the 3 best teams in Tahiti. They have, in fact, I believe, played at a Club World Cup. I am reasonably sure that AS Venus, who we did that to, have played in a Club World Cup in real life. In the Slovenian Second League, you can see it. I've not managed in Slovenia in quite a while. I've not done that in quite a while. I don't remember the last time I did it. I know I have done it. I just don't know the last time I did it. Right. Let's get a little serious. Let's put Caracas back where he belongs. Let's give Shang a rest. He's tired anyway, bless him. He's alright, he'll be fine. He'll live. We're going to stick Quarterline, the world's southernmost fin, in the team. We're going to have some time. He is the world's southernmost fin. No Finn has ever been to Tahiti before. I refuse to believe it's ever happened, but for some reason this fella caught a line and decided that he wanted to play and fit in Tahiti, and I couldn't see a good reason why that wasn't funny. Is he good? No. Is he a footballer? Potentially on FIFA. Is he here? Absolutely. This is what we do. This is just what we do. We just have a footballer. Oh, also, for some reason, every manager in Tahiti is female. We don't know why. Cannot figure it out. But every manager in Tahiti is female. That's a thing we've learned from the match engine. I didn't edit it. I didn't make that happen. But every time you see a manager on the touchline in Tahiti, they are female. There is no logic to it. I'm sure it's a rare time that Timo has cocked something up in one of his databases. I'm certain it's one of the rare times that Timo has cocked up a database. But it's spectacular. And we've lost. Well, we've conceded already to a guy called Gabriel Suzuki. Is he going to be Japanese? Is he going to be American? He's probably Brazilian. You think he will be one or the other.
Are you following me?
Welcome.
I was actually just going to ask you the same thing.
It probably is because it's Added League.
Okay.
It
That's
probably
hot.
is. We've met a follower goal
I may
again.
resist for
somehow.
a while,
I
but we
don't know
both
how.
know eventually I'll give
People
in.
are
So why don't we just skip that?
Simon
My
actually
baby
followed
in
your
me.
threat that I was I'd be gutted. That genuinely would have broken my heart. Goddamn Dario. Yeah. Genuinely would be heartbroken. I got side quested by there being a sub. Well, follow. Welcome, Mr. I Print Will Love, Mrs. I Print Will Love. Welcome. Either way, welcome to our madhouse. I was looking at Suzuki, wasn't I? I was going to see if Suzuki was Japanese, American, or Brazilian. It's a game that usually ends with he was Brazilian. Like this fella, Frankovic is probably, despite sounding Polish, probably reasonable odds Brazilian. Because everyone in this league is Brazilian. Yep, Josiel Frankowiak, Brazilian, naturally. Redeem, look up a player. Who would you want to look up? That's what the redeems are for. Gabriel Suzuki, also Brazilian. Of course he is. Of course he is. Every player in Tahiti is Brazilian. Basically, most of Tahiti is people who are from Brazil that were embarrassed because they weren't good enough at football to not get bullied in the streets. Plays in Tahiti. We don't know why. Basically, if you're Brazilian and you've shamed yourself so much in the favelas whilst attempting to play street football that you've been frankly exiled from Brazilian society, you come to Tahiti and you play football, and you play football for money. So you can phone your parents back home and go, Mum and Dads, I am a professional footballer, please. Our family is no longer ashamed of my footballing ability. That's what happens in Tahiti. I should probably do something to try and win this game. It's got to be said, I've not really put a lot of work into trying to win this game. In fact, most of this stream I've spent roasting my players for how terrible at football they truly are. And they truly are some of the worst at football anyone has ever seen. But we should try and win a game. It would be nice. It'd be nice if the world's southernmost Finn could win a game. We'll pull it off. We'll pull it off. It's going to be fine. It's okay. I'm not stressing. Come on, team. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. Come on. World's most Polish Brazilian. Don't do something to us. Well, guys, this has been a lovely stream. It's been a lovely stream. And it's not that I'm annoyed at my players for how poorly they've played. But I am sending in Zhang Zhou. Anderson was complaining he wasn't getting enough football, and then, frankly, he upset me. So now I'm mad at him. And I don't like being mad at him, but I am. He's not coming to my birthday party. Caracas gets to stay on. Printer Guy is a suspicious user according to Twitch. Fair. I kind of had a feeling that was probably what was happening, but also, and here's the thing, if they want to use redeems, that's fine, because I get paid when they do it. So that redeem of 200 bits or whatever thing it was, whatever points it was, channel points, is probably worth a penny to me. Now, I know there aren't penny sweets anymore, but if they build a time machine, that's going to get me some weird chewy thing in a wrapper. You've got to look at the positives. You have to look at the positives. I could get a chewy thing in a wrapper from a time machine in 1983 for that. And it could be all down to random print with love. Let's leave it on monitoring for now, shall we? Because they can talk while they're on monitoring, right? Like, they have the chance to make a case and not try and sell us like bunnies or... No, let's turn it off, let's see what happens, and then we'll go from there. They could be cool, they could not be cool. They do want to look up a player, which suggests it's not a bot. But we'll find out. We'll find out using the magic of finding out. It doesn't. For some reason, it's not letting me let them find out. So, presumably, you've got the skills to somehow unmonitor them, because it won't let me do it. And I am curious, because I've never seen a bot redeem something before. No one ever creates a bot that, like, buys bits and just chucks them at you, do they? Or, like, buys gift subs. You never get a gift sub bot. How amazing would a gift sub bot be? Like, admittedly, unnecessarily expensive for the person doing it. But a gift sub bot would be truly incredible. If we could get the Kremlin on there. Just throwing it out there. They don't really do anything else of use. So if we could get the Kremlin to just help us out as streamers by making gift sub bot, that'd be nice. I mean, I'm sure the Russian people would be quite annoyed with it spending their taxes that way. But of all the things they're spending their taxes on, it would still be among the least bad. So, yeah, it's true. Bots can do anything. Except find me a wife. They can't do that. I asked. I said to ChatGPT, find me a wife, and it went, I can't do that. I'm an AI. not a god. And frankly, I thought it was very refreshingly honest. So, nice of them. Happy with that. Right. I said we were going to do a bit of zomberinoing. I am going to really quickly build a cup of tea, smoke a cigarette, change over games, all that good stuff. So I'll probably be gone 10-ish. This is the part of the stream where we say goodbye to YouTube. Thank you for being here, YouTube. You are always loved and welcome. But sadly, YouTube has decided that zombies are too scary for YouTube. They've decided that none of you on YouTube can hack it. I'm really sorry, but it's not my judgment, it's YouTube's.